I stand inside my dark house at 5 in the morning, listening to my daughter-in-law, Jessica, screaming outside with 2 locksmiths. She demands entry, claiming the house belongs to her husband, my son, Travis. This is just 24 hours after I told her to leave my property following a heated confrontation. I hear the drill biting into my front door lock. My heart pounds. I have been expecting this. I take a deep breath, walk to the door, and open it myself. What Jessica, the locksmiths, and Travis see makes their faces drain of color. The door swings wide, and the shock on their faces is almost worth the sleepless night I just endured. Behind me stand 2 police officers in full uniform, their hands resting casually on their belts. Next to them is my attorney, Gerald Hutchinson, a man I have known for 15 years, holding a thick briefcase. And there, set up on my living room wall, visible through the open doorway, are 3 computer monitors displaying crystal clear security camera footage from every angle of my property. Jessica's mouth opens, then closes. The 2 locksmiths immediately step back, their tools clattering. One of them, a younger guy with a ponytail, says, "Lady, you told us this was your house and you lost the keys." "It is my house," Jessica hisses, but her voice wavers. She is a woman in her early 30s, blonde, attractive in that carefully constructed way that takes 2 hours every morning. Right now, though, her makeup is smudged, and she looks frantic. Travis stands behind her, looking like he wants to disappear into the pre-dawn shadows. My son is 33 years old, tall like me, but he has his mother's gentle eyes. Those eyes are filled with confusion and fear right now. Officer Patricia Mendez, a no-nonsense woman I met just 6 hours ago when I called about the expected break-in attempt, steps forward. "Ma'am, do you have legal documentation proving ownership of this property?" Jessica's jaw clenches. My husband's father promised him this house. It's rightfully ours. "Promises aren't legal documents," Officer Mendez says flatly. "Mr. Harper is the sole owner according to county records. What you just attempted is breaking and entering. These gentlemen," she gestures to the locksmiths, "were misled into participating in a crime." The locksmith with the ponytail swears under his breath. "We're leaving. We don't do illegal jobs." They pack up their equipment in seconds and practically run to their van. Gerald steps forward, adjusting his glasses. He is 68, completely bald, and has the commanding presence of someone who has spent 40 years in courtrooms. "Jessica, Travis, you have 10 seconds to leave this property voluntarily, or these officers will arrest you for attempted breaking and entering. The choice is yours." I watch my son's face crumble. "Jessica, you said Dad signed papers. You showed me documents." "Shut up," Jessica snaps at him, her mask slipping completely. "Just shut your mouth, Travis." That is when I see it. The moment Travis realizes something is very wrong. His eyes widen, and he looks at me. Really looks at me for the first time in months. I see my son in there, buried under whatever spell this woman has cast over him. Let me back up. Let me tell you how we got here. 8 months ago, Jessica moved into my house with Travis. I built this house with my own hands 30 years ago, back when I was 42 and running my own contracting business. Every beam, every nail, every square foot of the 3,000 square foot ranch-style home represents my sweat and blood. My wife, Margaret, and I raised Travis here. We painted his bedroom blue when he was 5. We built a treehouse in the backyard when he was 7. We hosted his high school graduation party on the back deck. Margaret died 4 years ago. Pancreatic cancer. It took her in 8 months, and I have been lost ever since. Travis is my only child, my only family left. When Travis met Jessica 2 years ago, I wanted to be happy for him. He had been single for years, focused on his sales job, and he seemed lonely. Jessica seemed charming at first. She laughed at my jokes, asked about Margaret, brought me flowers. But something felt off. She asked too many questions about my finances, about the house, about my retirement accounts. They got married after 6 months of dating. I kept my concerns to myself. Travis was happy, and that is what mattered. Or so I thought. After the wedding, things changed. Jessica started isolating Travis from his old friends. She convinced him they should move in with me to help me with the house and keep me company. I agreed. The house felt empty without Margaret. I thought having my son around would help. Instead, it became a nightmare. Jessica gradually took over. She redecorated the living room, throwing out Margaret's favorite chair because it was old and ugly. She went through my things, reorganizing my office, getting rid of what she called clutter. Those items were not clutter. They were 30 years of memories. The final breaking point came yesterday morning. I woke up early, around 6, and found Jessica in my private office. She was photographing documents with her phone. My property deed, my bank statements, my will. "What are you doing?" I demanded. She did not even look guilty. She smiled at me, calm as can be. "Just making sure everything is in order, Harper. Travis and I are concerned about your memory. You have been forgetting things." "I have not forgotten a single thing," I said, my voice rising. "Get out of my office." "This is not your office anymore," she replied, her voice turning cold. "This house belongs to Travis. You promised it to him. We're just making sure the paperwork reflects that." I felt my blood pressure spike. "I promised no such thing. This is my house. I built it. I own it. And I want you out." She laughed. Actually laughed. "We're not going anywhere, old man. This house is already ours. You just don't know it yet." I called my attorney immediately. By noon, I had formally ordered them to vacate within 30 days. Jessica's response was to smile sweetly and say, "See you in court." I knew she would try something. That is why I spent yesterday afternoon and all last night preparing. I called Gerald. I installed the security cameras. I called the police and explained the situation. And I waited. Now, standing in my doorway at 5 in the morning, facing this woman who has poisoned my relationship with my son, I feel a grim satisfaction. But it does not last long. Jessica glares at me with pure hatred. Then slowly, deliberately, she smiles. "Fine, we'll leave. But you're going to regret this, Harper. By tomorrow, you won't have a house to stand in." She grabs Travis by the arm and yanks him toward their car. Travis looks back at me once, his face anguished, but he goes with her. Their car doors slam. The engine starts. Red tail lights disappear into the darkness. Officer Mendez turns to me. "Mr. Harper, I recommend you keep those cameras running. Document everything. If she contacts you, don't engage. Let your attorney handle it." "Thank you, officer," I say, suddenly feeling every one of my 72 years. After they leave, Gerald and I sit at my kitchen table. The adrenaline is wearing off, replaced by exhaustion. Gerald pours me a glass of water. "You did good, Harper," he says. "We sent a clear message." "She threatened me," I point out. "She's not done." "No," Gerald agrees. "She's not. But we'll be ready." I wish I had known just how ready we needed to be. By 10 o'clock that same morning, I am starting to believe the worst might be over. The police have left. Gerald is reviewing paperwork at my kitchen table, making notes. I make coffee, the familiar ritual soothing my frayed nerves. The sun is streaming through the kitchen windows, and for a moment, everything feels almost normal. Then Gerald's phone rings. He looks at the screen, frowns, and answers. "Hutchinson here." His expression changes instantly. "What? When did she file that?" My stomach drops. Gerald listens, his face growing darker. He grabs a pen and starts writing rapidly. "Email me everything. I'll review it immediately." He hangs up and looks at me with something I have never seen in his eyes before. Fear. "Harper, Jessica just filed an emergency motion with the circuit court. She's claiming you signed a quitclaim deed transferring the house to Travis 3 months ago. She says you were mentally incompetent at the time due to early dementia, and that you and Travis are the legal owners. She has a notarized document to prove it." The room spins. "That's impossible. I never signed anything." "I know," Gerald says grimly, "but she has a document. My paralegal is sending it now." His laptop chimes. He opens the email, and we both lean in to look at the screen. There it is, a quitclaim deed, dated 3 months ago, bearing my signature. It looks perfect. The notary seal looks authentic. The filing stamps look real, and the signature looks exactly like mine. "I did not sign this," I whisper. "Gerald, I swear to you, I never signed this document. I believe you, he says immediately. But this is sophisticated. Look at the signature. If I didn't know better, I would think it was yours. My hands start shaking. She planned this. All those months living here, she was planning this. She must have practiced forging my signature. That's why she was photographing my documents yesterday. She was building her case. Gerald is already typing furiously on his laptop. She's also filed for a restraining order, claiming you threatened her and Travis. If a judge grants it, you won't be able to contact your own son. This is insane, I say. But even as the words leave my mouth, I realize how brilliant and terrible Jessica's plan is. She has been setting this up for months. The questions about my memory, the comments about me forgetting things. She was building a narrative. There's an emergency hearing scheduled for tomorrow morning, Gerald says. Judge Caroline Foster. She's fair, but she'll look at this document seriously. Harper, we need to prove this is a forgery, and we need to do it fast. I try to call Travis. His phone rings 4 times, then Jessica answers. Hello, Harper, she says, her voice sickeningly sweet. Travis doesn't want to talk to you anymore. You're sick, and you don't even know it. We're trying to help you, but you're making it so difficult. Put my son on the phone, I demand. He's resting. All this stress you're causing is really affecting him. Maybe if you just accepted the truth and moved into a nice assisted living facility, we could all move forward peacefully. I will never give you my house, I say, my voice shaking with rage. It's not your house anymore, Harper. You signed it away. You just don't remember. That's what dementia does. She hangs up. I sit down heavily. Gerald puts a hand on my shoulder. We'll fight this. I'm going to bring in a forensic document examiner. We'll prove that signature is forged. That will take time, I say. Time she's using to manipulate the courts. We spend the rest of the day preparing. Gerald contacts expert witnesses. We gather all my medical records to prove I have no cognitive issues. We compile evidence showing Jessica's suspicious behavior, but I can feel the walls closing in. That evening, I am sitting in my living room, the house I built feeling like a prison, when my email chimes. The message is from an unknown address. The subject line reads, "You need to know this." I open it. You're not the first. Jessica married a man in Ohio 5 years ago. He lost his house, too. His name is Raymond Coleman. Call him. A phone number follows. I stare at the screen. Who sent this? How do they know about Jessica's past? I do not hesitate. I dial the number. A man answers on the 3rd ring. Hello? Is this Raymond Coleman? I ask. There is a pause. Who's asking? My name is Harper. I'm calling from Virginia. I believe you know someone named Jessica. The silence that follows is heavy. Then Raymond says, his voice tight. She got you too, didn't she? She's trying, I say. I just got an email saying you lost your house to her. Not just my house, Raymond says bitterly. I lost everything. My son, my dignity, my life savings. And I've been waiting 5 years for someone to finally believe me about what she is. Tell me everything, I say. And he does. Raymond Coleman's story chills me to my bones. He talks for nearly an hour. And with every word, I see Jessica's playbook laid bare. I was 54 when I met her, Raymond explains. His voice is rough, worn down by years of fighting. My wife had died 2 years earlier. Breast cancer. I was a widower trying to figure out how to live again. I had a good house in Columbus, paid off, worth about $400,000. I had retirement savings, rental properties. I wasn't rich, but I was comfortable. How did she target your son? I ask. That's the thing. She's smart. She didn't target me directly. She went after my son, Derek. He was 28, working at a bank. She got a job at the same bank, started dating him. She was using a different first name then, Jennifer, but it was her. Same face, same tactics. Raymond describes the courtship, the rushed marriage after 6 months, the move into his house to help Dad. Every detail mirrors my experience exactly. She started the same way with me, Raymond continues. Little comments about my memory. Did I remember to pay this bill? Did I forget we had plans? She was gaslighting me before I even knew what that word meant. Then came the documents. Forged, quitclaim deed, I guess. Exactly. She claimed I signed it during a doctor's appointment. Said I was confused. She had some quack doctor write up a report saying I showed signs of cognitive decline. By the time I realized what was happening, she had filed legal papers. The court ordered a competency hearing. What happened? I ask, though I dread the answer. I lost, Raymond says simply. Derek was appointed my guardian. Jessica, as his wife, had control over my finances through him. They put my house on the market, sold my rental properties, moved me into a one-bedroom apartment, took everything. My blood runs cold. Your son let her do this? Derek was trapped, just like your Travis is now. She manipulated him, threatened him, controlled him. It took him 2 years to finally see through her lies. By then, the damage was done. He divorced her, but the money was gone. The house was gone. Our relationship was destroyed. How did you get free? I ask. The divorce, Raymond explains. Once Derek filed, Jessica moved on to her next target. She didn't care about him anymore. She just wanted the assets. After she left, Derek and I started investigating. We found her real name, her real history. She's been doing this for at least 10 years. Different names, different states. She targets widowers through their adult children. It's a pattern. Why didn't you report her to the police? Raymond laughs bitterly. I did. They said it was a civil matter. The documents looked legal. The judges believed her. She's very, very good at what she does. I've been tracking her online for 3 years, hoping to warn her next victim. When I saw the wedding announcement for her and your son, I knew she was at it again. You sent me the email. I realize. I did. I've been watching from a distance, waiting for the right moment. When I saw the court filings this morning, I knew you needed to know what you're up against. Can you help me? I ask. Will you testify? I'll do more than that, Raymond says. I'll be on a plane tomorrow morning. I have documentation, divorce records, fraud complaints, evidence of her pattern. She got away with what she did to me, but maybe we can stop her from doing it to you. After we hang up, I sit in the darkness of my living room, processing everything. Jessica is not just a gold digger. She is a professional predator. She has refined this con over years, leaving a trail of destroyed families in her wake. Gerald arrives early the next morning. Raymond's plane lands at 8, and by 9, we are all sitting in a conference room at Gerald's law office. Raymond is 59 now, gray-haired and tired-looking, but his eyes are sharp and determined. He spreads documents across the table. This is everything I have. The divorce filing mentions her fraudulent activities. Here are the complaints I filed with Ohio authorities. They went nowhere, but they establish a pattern. And this, he pulls out a photograph, is Marcus Petty. I stare at the photo of a man in his 40s with a thin face and cold eyes. Who is he? He's the notary who notarized your forged deed, Raymond says. He's also Jessica's cousin. He was involved in my case too, though we couldn't prove it at the time. He's been disbarred in Ohio, but apparently got licensed in Virginia under a slightly different name. Marcus Pettyman. Gerald swears under his breath. She brought her own notary with her. They work as a team, Raymond confirms. Jessica finds the marks. Marcus creates the documents. They've done this in at least 4 states that I know of. We head to the courthouse at 10. The emergency hearing is in Judge Caroline Foster's courtroom. Jessica is already there with her attorney, a slick-looking man named Craig Brennan. Jessica is dressed conservatively, playing the concerned daughter-in-law. Travis sits beside her, looking miserable. When my eyes meet Travis's, I see desperation there. He mouths 2 words, "Help me." My heart breaks. Judge Foster enters, and we all rise. She is a woman in her 60s, with gray hair pulled back severely and sharp, intelligent eyes. Gerald presents our case immediately. Your Honor, we have evidence that the quitclaim deed presented by the petitioner is a forgery. We have testimony from Raymond Coleman, who was victimized by the same scheme 5 years ago in Ohio. We have documentation showing a pattern of fraud. Craig Brennan jumps up. Your Honor, Mr. Coleman is a disgruntled former family member who stalked my client after a legitimate divorce. This is harassment. Judge Foster looks at Raymond. Mr. Coleman, why are you here? Raymond stands, his voice steady. Your Honor, I lost my house, my savings, and nearly lost my son to this woman's scheme. I have documentation proving she has done this before. I'm here to prevent another family from being destroyed. Judge Foster examines the documents. She looks at the forged deed, then at Raymond's evidence. For several long minutes, the courtroom is silent except for the rustling of papers. Then Craig Brennan plays his trump card. Your Honor, we have a medical report from Dr. Martin Sinclair stating that Harper showed signs of cognitive decline during a recent visit. The patient exhibited memory problems, confusion about dates, and difficulty following instructions. Gerald turns to me, alarmed. I shake my head. I've never been to a Dr. Sinclair. I don't know who that is, but the damage is done. Judge Foster looks troubled. Mr. Harper, when did you last see this doctor? I didn't, Your Honor. I've never heard of him. Brennan smiles. The visit was 3 months ago, Your Honor. The patient likely doesn't remember due to his cognitive issues. It is another lie, another fabricated piece of evidence. But in the moment, it creates doubt. Judge Foster takes a deep breath. Here's my ruling. I'm not prepared to grant ownership to either party today. This requires a full hearing with expert testimony. However, given the conflicting evidence regarding Mr. Harper's mental state, I'm ordering a complete competency evaluation. Mr. Harper will remain in the house for now, but this matter will return to court in 2 weeks for a full evidentiary hearing. It is not a victory, but it is not a loss either. We walk out of the courthouse into the bright sunshine. Gerald is already planning our next moves. Raymond promises to stay in town to help, but I feel a sharp pain in my chest. Stress. I press my hand against my heart and take deep breaths. You okay? Raymond asks, concerned. Fine. I lie. Just tired. That night, I undergo the court-ordered psychological evaluation with Dr. Ellen Walsh, a court-appointed psychologist. She is thorough and fair, asking me questions about my memory, my daily routines, my understanding of financial matters. I answer every question clearly and accurately. But during the interview, when she asks about my family, I break down. I tell her about Margaret's death, about losing my son to this woman's manipulation, about the fear that I might lose everything my wife and I built together. I cry, something I have not done since Margaret's funeral. Dr. Walsh is kind, but she writes down every detail. Later, I will learn her report states, patient shows no signs of dementia or cognitive impairment. However, patient exhibits significant emotional distress related to family conflict. That night, I barely sleep. At 2 a.m, my house alarm screams to life. I stumble out of bed, heart racing, and find my back bedroom window smashed. Glass covers the floor, and spray painted on my bedroom wall in dripping red letters are the words, "Leave or die, old man." I call 911. The police come. They take photos and dust for prints. They find nothing. The cameras show a figure in dark clothing and a mask, but no identifying features. Later, I learn that Jessica and Travis were at a hotel that night, with security footage proving they were there all evening. But I know the truth. Jessica hired someone to terrorize me, and it is working. My hands shake as I clean up the glass. My chest hurts. The stress is literally killing me, but I refuse to give up. This is my home. I built it with my own hands, and I will not let her take it from me. Over the next week, I throw myself into preparing for the full court hearing. Gerald hires Dana Reeves, a private investigator with 20 years of experience. She is a woman in her 50s, sharp-eyed and relentless. Within 3 days, she has uncovered what the police never bothered to find. Dana sits across from me at my kitchen table, her laptop open, showing me her findings. Jessica has used at least 3 different first names. Jennifer in Ohio, as Raymond told you. Julia in Pennsylvania. Jessica here in Virginia. Her real name is Jessica Marie Colburn. She grew up in Florida, dropped out of college, and has been running cons for at least 12 years. 12 years, I repeat. Stunned. At minimum, Dana confirms. I've found traces of similar patterns in 4 different states. She targets widowers who own property outright. She works with her cousin, Marcus Petty, also known as Marcus Pettyman, Mark Peterson, and 2 other aliases. He's a notary public who's been disbarred in 2 states for falsifying documents, but keeps getting licensed under new names in different jurisdictions. How is that possible? I ask. Because the states don't share information well enough, Dana says grimly. And because he's careful. He waits a few years, moves states, uses a slightly different name. The system isn't designed to catch people like him. What about the fake doctor? I ask. Dana pulls up another file. Dr. Martin Sinclair. He's not a real doctor. The medical license number on his report belongs to a retired physician in Florida who died 3 years ago. The signature is forged. The office address is a mail drop. It's all fake. So we can prove the whole thing is fraud, I say, feeling a surge of hope. Yes, Dana agrees. But we need to get this evidence in front of the judge. Brennan is a slick lawyer. He'll try to exclude it on technical grounds. And we need to do it fast, because Jessica knows we're investigating. She's going to make another move soon. Dana is right. 2 days before the scheduled court hearing, I wake up at 6 in the morning feeling strange. My chest is tight. My left arm tingles. I stand up from bed and immediately feel dizzy. The room spins. I know what this is. I am having a heart attack. I manage to grab my phone and dial 911 before I collapse. The operator's voice sounds far away. I give my address. Then everything goes black. I wake up in a hospital bed. Bright lights, beeping machines, an IV in my arm. A doctor I do not know is standing over me, checking monitors. Mr. Harper, you're at Memorial Hospital. You had a myocardial infarction, a heart attack. We've placed 2 stents in your coronary arteries. You're stable now, but you need to rest. Gerald is there too, sitting in a chair beside my bed. His face is creased with worry. Harper, thank God. You scared the hell out of me. The hearing, I croak. My throat is dry. It's tomorrow, Gerald says quietly. But you're not going anywhere. Doctor's orders. The doctor nods firmly. Mr. Harper, you nearly died. Your heart cannot take any more stress. You need at least a week of rest. Possibly more. A week? I try to sit up, but pain shoots through my chest. I can't wait a week. She'll use this. She'll say I'm incapacitated. Harper, Gerald says gently. She already has. My blood runs cold. What do you mean? Gerald pulls out his phone and shows me a court filing. While you were unconscious, Jessica filed an emergency petition. She's claiming you're incapacitated and need a guardian. Since Travis is your only living relative and next of kin, she's arguing that Travis should be appointed as your conservator, which means she, as his wife, would control your medical and financial decisions. No, I whisper. Gerald, you can't let that happen. I'm fighting it, he assures me. But she got it in front of Judge Ronald Pierce. He's known for rubber stamping emergency orders. He signed a temporary order, giving Travis limited power of attorney over your affairs while you're hospitalized. The machines around me start beeping faster. A nurse hurries in, checking my monitors. Mr. Harper, your blood pressure is spiking. You need to calm down. But I cannot calm down. Because in that moment, I realize what this means. Gerald confirms my worst fears. Harper, they've frozen your bank accounts pending review. Your credit cards are suspended, and Jessica has changed the locks on your house again. She's claiming she needs to secure the property while you're incapacitated. My things, I say desperately. Margaret's photos, our wedding album, 30 years of memories, are locked inside. Gerald finishes. I'm sorry, Harper. I'm filing emergency motions to reverse all of this, but it takes time. I lie back against the pillows, feeling utterly defeated. I am 72 years old, recovering from a heart attack, cut off from my money, locked out of my own home. Jessica has outmaneuvered me at every turn. The nurse gives me something for the pain, and I drift in and out of consciousness. When I wake again, it is evening. The room is dim. Gerald is gone, but someone else is there. Travis, my son, sits in the chair beside my bed, his head in his hands. He is crying silently. When he hears me stir, he looks up. His eyes are red and swollen. "Dad," he whispers. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." "Travis," I say, my voice weak. "Son." He moves closer, taking my hand. I know what she's doing. I finally know. She's been controlling everything. My phone, my email, my bank account. She monitors every conversation. She threatened me, Dad. She said if I didn't cooperate, she'd claim I was part of the fraud. She said I'd go to prison. "You're not part of this," I say firmly, squeezing his hand as hard as I can. "You're a victim too." "I should have seen it," Travis says, tears streaming down his face. "I should have known. But she's so convincing. She made me believe you were sick, that we were helping you. Every time I doubted her, she'd show me documents, medical reports, legal papers. It all looked real." "Where is she now?" I ask. "At the house. She doesn't know I'm here. I told her I was going to get food. I had to see you. I had to tell you I'm sorry." "Travis, listen to me," I say urgently. "You need to help me. You need to testify against her." Travis's face crumbles. "I'm scared, Dad. If I go against her, she'll destroy me. She has recordings, fake evidence. She's been setting me up too, just in case." "Son," I say, my voice breaking, "I am lying in a hospital bed after a heart attack because of the stress she's caused. If we don't stop her, she wins. She takes everything, and then she moves on to the next family and does it again." Travis covers his face with his hands. "I don't know if I'm strong enough." "You are," I tell him. "You're my son. You're Margaret's son. We raised you to be strong. You can do this." He looks at me, his face torn with fear and guilt and love. "I'll think about it," he finally says. "But I have to go before she realizes I'm gone." He stands, and I grab his arm. "Travis, I love you. No matter what happens, I love you. And your mother loved you. Remember that." "I love you too, Dad," he says, his voice breaking. Then he is gone. I lie alone in the hospital bed, surrounded by beeping machines, feeling more alone than I have since Margaret died. I have hit rock bottom. My health is failing. My home is occupied by the enemy. My money is frozen, and my son is trapped in a web of lies and fear. But then, something happens. A hospital janitor enters my room to empty the trash. He is a young man, maybe 30, with short, dark hair. He glances at me, then at the door. He empties the trash can, but as he is leaving, he drops something on my bed, a folded piece of paper. I wait until he is gone, then unfold it with shaking hands. The note reads, "Raymond Coleman has more evidence. He's been tracking Jessica's partner, Marcus. Marcus is coming to your town tomorrow to deliver more forged documents. We can catch them in the act. You need to get out of this hospital tonight. I'll help. Dana Reeves." My heart pounds. Dana disguised as a janitor. A plan to catch Jessica and Marcus red-handed, but I just had a heart attack. If I leave this hospital against medical advice, the stress could kill me. Then again, if I stay here, Jessica wins, and I lose everything. The choice is stark and terrible, but I already know what I have to do. At 10 o'clock that night, I disconnect my IV and monitoring equipment. Alarms immediately sound at the nurse's station. I have maybe 2 minutes before someone comes to check on me. I grab my clothes from the small closet. My hands shake as I pull on my pants and shirt. Every movement sends pain through my chest. The doctor's words echo in my mind. Any more stress could kill you, but dying fighting is better than dying defeated. I slip into the hallway. A nurse is rushing toward my room from the other direction. I duck into a stairwell, my heart hammering, each beat sending spikes of pain through my chest. I clutch the railing and make my way down 3 flights of stairs. By the time I reach the ground floor, I am sweating and gasping. A janitor's cart sits near the emergency exit. Dana steps out from behind it, no longer in disguise. "Can you walk?" she asks. "Do I have a choice?" I reply. She helps me through the exit. Her car is parked right outside. She practically carries me to the passenger seat. As we pull away, I see hospital security coming out the main entrance, looking around. "They'll call Gerald," I say. "He'll be furious." Let him be furious, Dana says. We're doing this my way now. Your lawyer follows rules. Rules won't beat Jessica. We need to catch her breaking the law. She drives me to a budget motel on the outskirts of town. Raymond is waiting in one of the rooms. He helps me inside, and I collapse onto the bed, breathing hard. You look terrible, Raymond says bluntly. I feel worse, I admit. Tell me the plan. Dana pulls out her laptop. I've been surveilling Jessica and Marcus for a week. They've been sloppy, getting confident. Tomorrow, at 2 in the afternoon, Marcus is meeting Jessica at a public storage facility on Route 50, Unit 217. They're keeping forged documents there. Documents from other scams, including Raymond's. How do you know this? I ask. I followed Marcus 3 days ago, Dana explains. He went to the storage unit, stayed for an hour. I checked the rental records. It's under a fake name, but the credit card used to rent it traces back to a shell company Marcus controls. This is where they keep their evidence. Documents, fake IDs, everything. Raymond adds, if we can catch them there with the documents, we can prove the conspiracy. Not just against you, but a pattern of fraud across multiple states. What do you need me to do, I ask. Dana looks uncomfortable. This is the risky part. We need Jessica to confess. She's too smart to confess to just anyone. But if you confront her, she might get angry enough to let something slip. You'll wear a wire. I'll record everything. You want me to confront a woman who has been threatening me while I'm recovering from a heart attack? I say slowly. Yes, Dana admits. It's dangerous. If the stress triggers another cardiac event out there, we might not get you help in time. But it's the only way to get the evidence we need. I think about my house, the one I built with my own hands. I think about Margaret and the life we built together. I think about Travis, trapped and scared. And I think about all the other families Jessica has destroyed. I'll do it, I say. The next morning, I rest as much as I can. Raymond goes out and gets me some nitroglycerin pills, just in case. By 1:30, we are in position. Dana has a van parked across from the storage facility. I am wearing a tiny wire microphone hidden under my shirt. My chest aches with every breath. At exactly 2 o'clock, Jessica's car pulls up. She gets out, looking around nervously. 5 minutes later, a silver sedan arrives. Marcus Petty steps out. He is thin, sharp-featured, exactly like his photo. He carries a briefcase. They meet at Unit 217. Jessica uses a key to open the roll-up door. They go inside. That's our cue, Dana says. Raymond stays in the van to monitor the recording. Dana and I approach the storage unit. My legs feel weak. My heart is racing, and not in a healthy way. We reach the unit. Through the partially open door, I can hear voices. The old man is in the hospital, Jessica is saying. This couldn't have worked out better. With him incapacitated, Travis signs everything I tell him to. The house will be ours within a week. What about the lawyer? Marcus asks. Hutchinson is smart. He's been digging. Lawyers can be dealt with, Jessica says dismissively. Once we have the house, we sell it fast, take the money, and move on. I'm thinking Florida next. Lots of rich retirees there. I take a deep breath and step into the doorway, thinking of moving already. Jessica? Both of them spin around. Jessica's eyes go wide. Harper, what are you? You should be in the hospital. I checked myself out, I say, my voice steady despite the pain in my chest. I wanted to hear you admit what you've been doing. Jessica recovers quickly, her face shifting to false concern. Harper, you're not well. You should be resting. Let me call an ambulance. Drop the act, I say. I know everything. Ohio, Pennsylvania, the forged documents. Marcus here notarizing fake deeds. I know about your whole operation. Marcus moves toward the back of the unit, reaching for something. Dana steps forward, revealing herself. Don't even think about it. Everything you've said in the last 5 minutes has been recorded. Jessica's mask finally slips completely. Her face twists with rage. You can't prove anything. Those documents are perfect. Even your lawyer couldn't tell they were forged. Actually, I say, forensic analysis will prove the signatures are fake. We have expert testimony. We have Raymond Coleman's case. We have a pattern. Raymond. Jessica spits the name. That pathetic old man. He couldn't prove anything either. Because I didn't have this, I say, gesturing to the storage unit. But now we do. A storage unit full of forged documents. Evidence from multiple scams. You've been doing this for years, Jessica. Or should I call you Jennifer? Or Julia? Marcus suddenly blurts out. This was her idea. I just made the documents. I didn't hurt anyone. Shut up, Jessica snarls at him. Shut your mouth, Marcus. But Marcus is panicking. We've done this 6 times, old man. You're just another Mark. But she's the brains. I just do the paperwork. 6 times, I repeat, making sure the wire catches it. 6 families destroyed. Jessica rounds on Marcus furiously. You idiot. You just confessed to everything. The stress is overwhelming. My vision blurs. Pain shoots down my left arm. I stagger, clutching my chest. Dana rushes to my side. Harper. Jessica's eyes widen. If I die here, she knows she is finished. She could be charged with murder. She pulls out her phone to call 911, but Dana stops her. Don't bother. I already did. In the distance, sirens wail, getting closer. Marcus tries to run, but Dana blocks the exit. Sit down. Both of you. The police are coming. Jessica sinks down onto a box, her face pale. All her confidence is gone. She looks like what she really is, a con artist whose scam just fell apart. 2 police cars screech into the parking lot. Officers pour out. Dana meets them, showing her investigator license, explaining the situation. The wire recording is still running, catching everything. An ambulance arrives right behind the police. Paramedics rush to me. I am fading, the pain in my chest overwhelming. As they load me onto a stretcher, I hear the most beautiful sound. The click of handcuffs closing on Jessica's wrists. Jessica Colburn, you're under arrest for fraud, conspiracy, forgery, and elder abuse, Officer Mendez says. She is there, looking satisfied. You have the right to remain silent. I lose consciousness as they load me into the ambulance. When I wake up, I am back in the hospital, back in the ICU. Gerald is there. Raymond is there. And there is a detective I do not know, a man in his 50s with graying hair. Mr. Harper, the detective says. I'm Detective Frank Morrison. You did good work today. That recording is solid evidence. Jessica Colburn and Marcus Petty are both in custody. We've also arrested Craig Brennan for conspiracy. He knew about the forged documents. Travis, I croak. Where's my son? Gerald leans forward. Travis is at the station. He's being questioned. But Harper, he wants to talk to you. He says he has evidence that Jessica coerced him. He says he wants to testify. Relief floods through me. He's ready? He's ready, Gerald confirms. Your son wants to make this right. I close my eyes, tears leaking down my cheeks. We did it. We actually did it. But even as relief washes over me, I know this is not over yet. Jessica will fight. There will be a trial. Travis will have to testify. And I still do not know if my heart can take much more. The doctor enters, shaking his head. Mr. Harper, you are the most stubborn patient I have ever had. 2 heart attacks in 2 weeks. You need to rest. Complete rest. No stress. Or the next one will kill you. Is it over? I ask weakly. No, Gerald says honestly. But we're winning. That is good enough for now. 2 weeks pass. 2 weeks of lying in a hospital bed, then in a cardiac rehabilitation facility. My body slowly heals, though the doctors warn me my heart has been permanently damaged by the stress. I will be on medication for the rest of my life. But I am alive. And more importantly, I am about to get justice. Travis comes to see me every day. The first few visits are painful. We both cry. We talk about how Jessica manipulated him, isolated him, made him doubt his own judgment, and even his love for his father. Travis tells me things that make my blood boil. How Jessica controlled his phone, reading every text and email. How she monitored his bank account, giving him an allowance like a child. How she threatened to destroy him if he ever betrayed her. She had recordings, Dad, Travis explains, his voice hollow. recordings of conversations she'd edited to make me sound like I was helping her scam you. She said if I went against her, she'd give them to the police and I'd go to prison for fraud. You were a victim, I tell him firmly. The prosecutor understands that, and the prosecutor does. District Attorney Rachel Morrison, Detective Frank Morrison's wife, takes Travis's statement over several sessions. She determines that Travis was coerced and manipulated, a victim of domestic abuse and psychological control. He will not be charged, but he will testify. 3 weeks after my second heart attack, I am finally strong enough to leave the rehabilitation facility. Raymond has been staying at my house, keeping it safe. When I walk through my front door for the first time in nearly a month, I almost break down. Everything is as I left it. Raymond even framed a photo of Margaret and placed it on the mantel. "Welcome home," Raymond says simply. Travis moves back in that same day. He tells me he has already filed for divorce. I don't care about the marriage. I just want to be free of her. The legal proceedings move forward rapidly. Gerald and D.A. Morrison work together to build an airtight case. Dana's recording from the storage unit is damning. Marcus Petty, facing decades in prison, accepts a plea deal. He agrees to testify against Jessica in exchange for a reduced sentence. Marcus's testimony reveals the full scope of Jessica's operation. She has been running this scam for 14 years, starting when she was just 20 years old. Her first target was her own stepfather, after her mother died. She has destroyed at least 8 families, possibly more. The total amount stolen is estimated at over $3 million. She's a sociopath, Marcus tells the prosecutors in a deposition. She feels nothing for the people she hurts. To her, they're just resources to be exploited. She used to laugh about the old men crying when they realized they'd lost everything. This information sickens me, but it also strengthens our case. The trial begins on a cold morning in November. I sit in the courtroom, Travis beside me, holding my hand. Jessica is brought in wearing an orange jumpsuit, her hair pulled back, no makeup. She looks smaller somehow, less threatening, but her eyes are still cold and calculating. The trial lasts 4 days. The prosecution presents overwhelming evidence. The forged, quitclaim deed, the fake medical report from the non-existent Dr. Sinclair, Marcus's testimony about creating false documents, Raymond's testimony about the Ohio case, Dana's recording from the storage unit, and finally, Travis's testimony. My son takes the stand on the 3rd day. He is nervous, his hands shaking. But when the prosecutor asks him to describe his relationship with Jessica, his voice is clear and steady. "She targeted me," Travis says. "I didn't realize it at the time, but she researched my family before we even met. She knew my mother had died. She knew my father owned his house outright. She knew he was a widower with assets. She created a fake profile on a dating app that matched my interests perfectly. Our meeting wasn't an accident. It was a plan." Jessica's lawyer, a public defender named Susan Chen, tries to discredit Travis. "Isn't it true that you benefited from the alleged scheme? That you would have inherited your father's house through the forged deed?" "I didn't know the deed was forged," Travis replies. "She showed me documents. She told me Dad had signed the house over to me willingly because of his dementia. I believed her because I trusted her, and because she threatened me every time I questioned her." "What kind of threats?" the prosecutor asks. Travis takes a deep breath. "She said if I didn't cooperate, she'd claim I abused her. She had fake photos of bruises she'd created with makeup. She had edited recordings that made me sound violent. She said she'd ruin my life if I betrayed her." The jury looks horrified, but Jessica's lawyer has one more trick. On the 4th day, she introduces a surprise piece of evidence. A pregnancy test. Positive. "Your Honor," Susan Chen says, "my client is pregnant. She's carrying the defendant's grandchild. This changes everything. We request leniency based on her condition." The courtroom erupts. Travis stands up, his face red. "That's impossible. We haven't been intimate in 6 months. If she's pregnant, that child isn't mine." Judge Foster bangs her gavel. "Order. Mr. Harper, sit down." The prosecutor requests a recess. In a side room, Travis is shaking with rage and shock. "She's lying, Dad. I swear to you, we stopped being intimate months ago." She moved into a separate bedroom. If she's pregnant, she's been cheating on me. Can we prove that? Gerald asks. Demand a paternity test, I suggest. The prosecutor nods. We'll file a motion. 2 days later, the results come back. The pregnancy test itself is revealed to be faked. Jessica is not pregnant at all. It was one final lie, one last attempt to manipulate the system. Judge Foster is furious. Miss Colburn, you have lied to this court, fabricated evidence, and wasted everyone's time. This will be reflected in your sentencing. The jury deliberates for less than 3 hours. They return with guilty verdicts on all counts: fraud, forgery, conspiracy, elder abuse, extortion. Jessica's face remains blank as the verdicts are read. She shows no emotion at all. Travis squeezes my hand. 3 weeks later, we return for sentencing. Judge Foster looks at Jessica with open disgust. Miss Colburn, you are a predator. You have systematically destroyed families, stolen life savings, and caused immeasurable pain. You targeted vulnerable people and showed no remorse. This court sentences you to 12 years in state prison, followed by 5 years of supervised probation. You will also be required to pay restitution to your victims, including Mr. Harper and Mr. Coleman. Jessica is led away. She does not look back. Marcus receives 6 years. Craig Brennan is disbarred and receives 2 years for his role in the conspiracy. As we leave the courthouse, Travis turns to me. Is it really over, Dad? It's over, I confirm. She can't hurt us anymore. Raymond joins us on the courthouse steps. You did it, Harper. You did what I couldn't. You fought back and won. We won. I correct him. You helped me. You warned me. Without you, I might have lost everything. That evening, the 3 of us sit in my living room. My house, still mine. Raymond has become a good friend. He has decided to move to Virginia, start fresh, closer to people who understand what he went through. Travis is in therapy, working through the trauma of his marriage. He tells me one evening, I think I knew deep down that something was wrong, but I was too afraid to admit it. I'm sorry I wasn't stronger. You're strong enough, I tell him. You testified. You stood up to her. That takes real courage. In the months that follow, Travis files for an annulment. The marriage is dissolved as if it never existed. He gets a new job, moves forward with his life. We have Sunday dinners together every week, just like we used to when Margaret was alive. I bring flowers to Margaret's grave and tell her everything. We're okay, Maggie, I whisper. Travis and we're going to be okay. The house slowly becomes a home again. I repaint the bedroom where the threat was spray painted. Travis helps me repair the damage from the break-in. We work together, father and son, rebuilding more than just walls. One Sunday evening, as we are sitting on the front porch watching the sunset, Travis says, I met someone, Dad, at therapy, another person recovering from an abusive relationship. Her name is Sarah. She's kind, real. I'd like you to meet her sometime, when I'm ready. Take your time, I tell him. But when you're ready, I'd love to meet her. Life moves on, slowly, painfully, but forward. 6 months after the trial, I receive notice that Jessica has been moved to a medium security prison 4 hours away. The letter includes information about the restitution order. She owes me $200,000, the estimated cost of the legal battle and emotional damages. I will never see that money. Jessica has no assets, but the judgment is symbolic. Official recognition of what she did to me, to Raymond, to all her victims. I frame the judgment and hang it in my office, not as a trophy, but as a reminder that I fought back, that I survived. One morning in early spring, Travis calls me from work. His voice is excited. Dad, I got a promotion. Regional sales manager. It comes with a significant raise. That's wonderful, son, I say, genuinely proud. I want to use some of the money to help you, Travis continues. I know the legal fees wiped out a lot of your savings. Let me help pay you back. Travis, you don't owe me anything, I tell him. I owe you everything, he replies. Please, Dad, let me do this. I agree, not because I need the money, but because I can hear in his voice how important it is to him. He needs to make amends, to feel like he is contributing to fixing what was broken. That same week, Dana Reeves stops by the house. She has news. The FBI has opened an investigation into Jessica's full criminal history. Based on what we uncovered, they think there might be more victims we don't know about. They're using the storage unit documents to track down other cases. How many more families, I ask? Dana shakes her head. They're finding evidence of at least 12 different scams across 8 states over 14 years. Harper, you helped take down a serial criminal. The FBI wants to talk to you and Raymond about consulting on elder fraud prevention. Raymond, who has been visiting for dinner, looks interested. Consulting? They want to create a task force, Dana explains. Elder fraud is a huge problem. Most victims don't report it because of shame or fear. You two could help train law enforcement to recognize the patterns. You could help other victims. I look at Raymond. He looks at me. We both nod. We'll do it, I say. Over the next few months, Raymond and I work with the FBI task force. We give presentations to police departments, social workers, and senior centers. We tell our stories. We explain the warning signs. Isolation, financial control, forged documents, false medical reports. The pattern is always similar. We help 3 other families catch con artists before they lose everything. Each time we help someone, I feel a sense of purpose I have not felt since Margaret died. Travis continues therapy and grows stronger. 8 months after the trial, he introduces me to Sarah. She is a teacher, divorced, with a 10-year-old daughter. She is warm, genuine, and when she smiles at my son, I can see real affection there. Not calculation, not manipulation, real love. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Harper, Sarah says, shaking my hand. Call me Harper, I tell her. And thank you. For what? She asks, confused. For making my son smile again, I say simply. Travis and Sarah take things slowly. They have both been burned. But they build something real together, brick by brick, just like I built this house so many years ago. One Sunday, a year after the trial, Travis brings Sarah and her daughter, Emma, for dinner. Emma is a bright, curious child who asks me 1,000 questions about building houses. I show her photos of when I was constructing this house 30 years ago, and she studies them with intense focus. You built this whole house yourself? She asks, amazed. With help from my wife, I correct. Margaret was right beside me the whole time. I wish I could have met her, Emma says. She would have liked you, I tell her, and I mean it. After dinner, we all sit on the front porch. Sarah and Travis are holding hands. Emma is asking Raymond about his work with the FBI task force. The evening sun casts golden light across the yard I have maintained for 3 decades. Travis looks at me. Dad, I have something to tell you. My heart skips. What is it? Sarah and I are getting engaged, he says. I wanted to tell you first. Get your blessing. I look at Sarah, at her kind face and honest eyes. I look at my son, stronger now, healed. You have my blessing, I say. Both of you. Sarah tears up and hugs me. Thank you. That means everything to Travis. And to me. Take your time, I advise them. Build your relationship on truth and trust. That's what matters. They nod, understanding what I am really saying. Do not rush. Be sure. Learn from the past. As the evening winds down and they prepare to leave, Travis pulls me aside. Dad, I want you to know something. I'm in a good place now. Therapy has helped. Sarah has helped. But most of all, you helped. You fought for me even when I couldn't fight for myself. You never gave up on me. You're my son, I say simply. I'll never give up on you. I know that now, Travis replies. And I promise you, I'll never let anyone come between us again. We embrace, father and son, survivors of a nightmare, looking forward to a better future. Life is good now, not perfect. I still have nightmares about Jessica sometimes. I still take heart medication every day. The stress aged me, no question. But I survived. We survived. Raymond has become like a brother to me. We have coffee every Tuesday morning and swap stories about our FBI task force work. We have helped create a national database to track elder fraud cases. It is small, just a start, but it is something. The house is full of life again. Travis and Sarah visit regularly. Emma has decided I am her adopted grandfather, and I love the title. We build birdhouses together in my garage, just like I used to build things with Travis when he was young. One evening, I am sitting alone on the front porch, watching fireflies dance in the twilight, when I feel Margaret's presence. Not literally, of course, but I feel her approval, her love, her pride. "We did it, Maggie," I whispered to the gathering darkness. "We protected our boy. We kept the home you loved. We won." The fireflies continue their dance, and I imagine one of them is Margaret, winking at me, telling me she knows. I built this house with my own hands 30 years ago. I defended it with everything I had at 72 years old. And now, at 73, I get to enjoy it with the family I fought so hard to protect. That is worth every battle, every heart attack, every moment of fear. I learned something through this nightmare. I learned that evil does not always announce itself. Sometimes it comes with a smile and a wedding ring. I learned that predators exist who see vulnerable people not as human beings, but as resources to be exploited. But I also learned that family bonds can survive even the worst manipulation. That it is never too late to fight for what is right. That justice, while slow, can prevail. And that forgiveness and healing are possible if you are willing to do the work. Most importantly, I learned that my son is stronger than either of us knew. He found his way back to the truth. He found his courage. And now he is building a life based on honesty and real love. If you are facing something similar, if someone is trying to manipulate you or steal from your family, I want you to know this. You are not alone. Document everything. Trust your instincts. Seek help from professionals. And never, ever give up. I was 72 years old, recovering from heart attacks, fighting a sophisticated con artist half my age. And I won. If I can do it, so can you. The sun sets completely now, stars appearing one by one in the darkening sky. I stand up, feeling the familiar ache in my joints, the reminder of my damaged heart. But I am standing. I am here. And this house, this home, is still mine. I walk inside, turning on lights as I go, filling the rooms with warmth and brightness. Tomorrow, Travis and Sarah are coming for Sunday dinner. Raymond will join us. Emma wants to show me a birdhouse she designed. Life goes on, better than before, stronger than before, and I am grateful for every single day. Now I want to ask you something. Have you ever encountered someone in your life who seemed too good to be true? Someone who asked too many questions about your finances or your property? What did you do? I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. It helps others who might be facing similar situations find this story and know they are not alone. Subscribe to this channel for more real-life stories about overcoming adversity and fighting back against injustice. And please, share this video with someone who might need to hear it. You never know who might be silently struggling with a manipulative relationship or a family member being targeted by a predator. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being here with me through this journey. I hope it has given you strength, hope, or at least the knowledge that even in the darkest times, fighting back is possible. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and protect the people you love. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.